morning, everyone. I want to welcome you guys to the mental health panel. My name is Jillian Henry. I'm the manager for athlete protection and safety at USA Lacrosse. And we're really branching into wanting to continue the conversation around mental health.
Super excited to be here. Thank you all for being a part of this really important topic and conversation. We'll just go down and do some quick intros so you get to know our panelists, and then we'll kick it off.
Hi everybody, I'm Rob Kavovit. I'm a co-founder of the 15 for Life Foundation with my family. It's a nonprofit to help raise mental health awareness and reduce suicides.
I'm Doug Jackson. I played at Syracuse and now I represent 15 for Life.
My family started 15 for Life to honor my brother, but truly just to open up the dialogue around mental health.
My friend Rob Kavovit grew up in Yorktown, New York. It's a beautiful spot right outside New York City. It's about an hour from New York. His dad was a sheriff in town. He had 4 older brothers and a younger sister. That's Rob's family right there. There's Kim on the lower left, that's his mom Val and Dave, and there's Jeff and Greg in the back. There's Steve and Andy, and Robbie is up top on the left.
In our town of Yorktown, which was a little bit of a lacrosse hotbed, we were very well known and a very well respected family. Troop K, they call us. Rob was always very kind of mature, very put together, very goal-oriented, sort of serious in the way he approached things and wanted to really be good at them. Grew up in a very athletic community and street and family, so also had that sort of competitive sense about him.
Rob picked up lacrosse at an early age and he just fell in love with it. I don't know if you know anything about Yorktown lacrosse, but back when Rob was in school, they were unbelievable. Robbie won 3 state championships in high school. They were the best team in Yorktown. He was a 2-time All-American, and every school in the country wanted Rob. Every school in the country. During college, we were roommates, we were teammates. I feel like I never wanted to be away from him, Whenever there was something going on, I always wanted, Rob there. I like to think that I was a pretty good player going in, and when I got there immediately, I was like, oh no, I wish I was as good as Robbie.
He goes low on him. Nobody picked him up on the slide. Well, coming in, you knew Kavovit could feed, but he's also proved that he can dodge the goal. Here he gets a step.
He was a stud. I mean, he was exceptional. He had one of the smoothest sticks you'll ever see.
Obvious calls got to be made. Zeller tees him up. Look at Kavovit. Can see the field and control the ball at the same time.
I'm telling you, he was unbelievable. He was unbelievable. Like some people say, I don't know what hand this kid is. Like he could use his left hand every bit as well as his right.
And I think most importantly was that he was an assist man. Rob always wanted somebody else to look better than him, and that's how he shined, was when he made others around him look better. He was that way in life too. He wanted to help everybody that he encountered in whatever way he could.
He was just as good as he was talent-wise, he was an even better teammate.
I was so proud. I couldn't have been more proud. Both in, the success he had on the field, of course, scoring goals and assists is cool, but the way that people looked up to him and the way he treated people, I admire still. He was my little brother. He was one of my best friends. We had a few years in age difference, but I looked after him, he looked after me. I actually call him the little brother that I always looked up to, because he seemed to have his stuff together even more than I ever did. We were living the dream. We were living in Florida together as neighbors. Our kids were riding back and forth on bikes. We were boating, barbecuing, doing everything that sort of people think, life's supposed to be. We had a couple of beautiful years right before he left, so it was special to have that.
I was driving my kids to soccer practice, and my friend Jim Morrissey, who was one of Robbie's close friends, played with us at Syracuse, he called me and he told me, he said Rob passed away, and it was out of the blue, and it was just a shock, and at that point no one really knew what had happened. And Rob's brother Jeff called me on the way home from work 3 days later, and he said, do you know what happened? He said, are you sitting down? And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And he told me that he took his life. And it was like losing him a second time, honestly, because the amount that I've struggled over the years with suicidal thoughts, I just can't believe that he was going through the same thing and I didn't connect with him. And so it was like losing him a second time, honestly.
Before today's game, a moment of silence for Cavo. Rob Kavovit, the former All-American and national champion at Syracuse. We said it at the top of the broadcast, the difficulty for us today, and certainly my broadcast partner, Paul Carcaterra. We have to cover this story because it is such a big story for Syracuse University and SU lacrosse and the lacrosse community. But Paul, this hits you, I know, on a personal level because you guys grew up together from Yorktown to Syracuse, roommates and best friends.
Yeah, there's been a lot of tears this week and more to come for sure. And I just think from playing in his backyard with the floodlight on to moving in together freshman year in college, he was always there. His family helped raise me. From the first stick I picked up to the last shot, he was always there. He was unassuming. He was kind. He was gentle. He was caring. He was an amazing listener. And in sports, certain players are responsible for the success of others, and he made me. I was lost without him, Anish, on the field. But more importantly, the same can be said for off the field. He made me so much better, and I was lost without him when he wasn't around growing up. He gave our friendship everything, everything. And I love him for that.
We were immediately embraced by the lacrosse community. Through a partnership with USA Lacrosse, we're part of inspiring LaxCon having its first themed event ever. For us, really giving back to the lacrosse community, or the community that wrapped its arm around us, is an important part of it. every 11 minutes in the United States, somebody decides that suicide is their best option. And it's a tough thing to deal with. Even 2 years later, it's as fresh as yesterday.
In general, there were no blatant signs, which is why we want to change the dialogue. He didn't know how to talk about it. He was too afraid to talk about it.
If we can open up dialogue, share some vulnerabilities, let people know that they're not alone, maybe make an impact, we'll do that in Rob's name.
I came to Baltimore to help get the word out about 15 for Life and be a part of the whole mental health conversation.
So how we do it is basically by aligning with teams, clubs, programs of all ages in any sport too, not just lacrosse. And we get them to open up the dialogue. So we have a program called the 15 Stick Award, which is a stick that resembles a trophy. It's handed week to week or game to game to the player that most represents kind of characteristics of Rob, you know, the ultimate assist man. So not the best player, but the best teammate.
I think the most important message for 15 for Life is just that these conversations around mental health need to be normalized. It needs to be the norm. It can't be the exception. It can't be, hey, that team's great because they talk about their mental health. It's got to be, hey, what do you mean that team doesn't talk about their mental health?
And one of the programs we do with 15 for Life is a commitment from all of our teams to address mental matters for a minimum of 15 minutes. And this is U8, U10, U12, all the way up through the PLL. So if you're participating, you're making a commitment to make this conversation normal.
We, the Kavovit's 15 for Life Foundation, we want people to truly know that 15 for Life is about celebrating life, not about mourning those that we've lost, although we miss them. It's about honoring this moment and our opportunity to improve each other's lives.